I'm Mark Bridge, and you're watching PopCulture Galaxy TV. Okay, so I'm a super fan of the Uncharted series. Ever since I got the first one on the PS3, like I was super hooked. And then of course Uncharted 2 came out, just took it to a whole nother level. Uncharted 3 came out. It was graphically and like technical wise, it was just as good as 2, but I think story wise 2 was better. And then 4, when it came out on PS4, just took it up a whole nother level. 2 is still my favorite, but 4 just like the graphics and the set pieces just blew your mind if you played that game. So for years Sony's been talking about making a movie of the Uncharted series, which I was back and forth on. Like on one end I'm like, yeah, I would love to see it as a movie, and on the other, like the games are so like film quality wise anyways, like why do you need a movie? Just play the games, or if you don't want to play them, you just go on YouTube and then just Google Uncharted the movie, and then you'll watch YouTubers make it in a movie. Just watch it. But so Sony they got a bunch of directors and writers throughout the years. They came and they went. I think one director was David O. Russell, who I think he did like Three Kings and a lot of movies with Jennifer Lawrence, and he had Mark Wahlberg in mind for Drake, and of course he had Robert De Niro as Sully. Now the problem is a lot of fans wanted Nathan Fillion as Drake, because like when you play the game, you almost feel like if you didn't know it was Nolan North who was doing the voice, you could swear on your life that it was Nathan Fillion. Because they have a lot of similarities, in terms of their inflections, the way they talk, the charisma. So a lot of people saw Nathan Fillion as Drake if they ever did a live action movie. But then years passed, they never got around to making it with Nathan Fillion. And then of course he had his show with Castle. And then, when you watch Castle, he kind of got a little chunky around, and he got older. So it's like, all right, time has passed. Mark Wahlberg, he left the project after David left the project, and new writers, new directors came on, new actors came on, and then now I think the latest is Tom Holland with Sean Levi directing. So I guess they're going for a young Uncharted film, a young Drake. Now we have an Uncharted fan film with Nathan Fillion and playing Nathan Drake. Now I watched this and I'm like, holy shit, that's the game. That is the game, right? That's what that's what we want in an Uncharted film. And if whatever they do with Uncharted film after this, it's unless they get the team or at least Nathan Fillion to be in this movie, it'll be a pale comparison to this. Even if they have bigger budget, obviously they're gonna have a bigger budget, they're gonna have bigger set pieces, and I'm sure Tom Holland will do a good job. But man, seeing Nathan Fillion actually, because it's one thing to say, hey, this guy should definitely play this character because he's so much like him, and then when you actually see it, it's like, maybe not. But then you actually get to see a blueprint. You see it. You actually see the film with Nathan Fillion in the short film that's on YouTube. You can watch it. You get to watch him in the film, and you're like, yes, that's Drake. And then of course he has Stephen Lang as Sully. He did a great job. He did a good job playing Sully. I mean, he's not like the actual Sully, but he has the inflections and the chemistry with him and Drake are in there. I kind of wish they had Emily Rose. Like when I saw Elena coming up, I was like, is that Emily Rose? Is that Emily Rose? But it was I forgot the name of the actress, but I've seen her in episodes of Episode. That was on Showtime, and she was in other things as well. But that's where I saw her from. But I was hoping it was gonna be Emily Rose, but now they have the short film. It is great. A lot of fans, including myself, are hoping that, like the Deadpool footage that leaked years ago that led to it becoming a full-length feature film, that this is the same scenario. Like, a lot of people are responding positively to the short film, and then Sony will take note and it's like, all right, I guess we got to make this movie. Or are they too far along in the process with the Tom Holland movie? And they're like, yeah, that looks good, but, we got the Tom Holland movie set to roll. They have the director already, which is Sean Levy. But then, like, other times they had a whole production crew and it just fell apart. So let's see. I'm hoping that we'll get Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake. But if not, let's see what they do with this Tom Holland, Sean Levy situation. So the next thing I want to talk about is The Crown. Now, this is a show that I've been hearing about, for a couple of years now. Everybody's like, oh my God, the show is amazing. The show is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it's on Netflix. It's in my queue. So one of these days I decided to binge it. And then, wow, it was, I actually got into like a whole royal mode, right? Where like I was consuming everything about the royals. Like, either it was a documentary or I watched The Queen with Helen Mirren. I just wanted to find out more about those guys because, granted, the monarchy isn't how it used to be way back in the days, but still, it's just a fascinating set of people where they're royalty and you have to treat them as royalty even if they don't really have a say in how England or the UK is run. But they're like figureheads, like the ultimate figureheads, and they know it. But it's just like, it's fascinating. So back to The Crown. I watched The Crown. I binged the entire season 1 and 2 in a couple of days, and then I heard season 3 is coming. It's skipping a year. I think season 1 and 2 was 2016 and 2017 respectively. Now season 3 should have came out this year, but it's skipping this year because they're actually shooting season 3 and 4 back to back. And one of the things that they're doing for season 3 and 4 is they're aging up the characters. So Claire Foy, who played Queen Elizabeth in the first and second season, is done. So is Vanessa Kirby and guy who plays Prince Philip. They're done. Their roles are done. Now we have new actors coming in to fill in the role. We have Olivia Colman. She's going to play Queen Elizabeth. And we have Helena Bonham Carter. She's playing Princess Margaret. And of course, her husband is going to be played by Ben Daniels, who plays what's his name? Tony Armstrong. So they're aging up those characters, and are they gonna get to Diana? And yes, they will get to Diana. I think they said season 4 they'll get to that, to Diana's arc. And so I'm excited for season 3 and season 4. Like I said, I binged the show. I fell in love with the show, so I can't wait to see it. The final topic I want to talk about is Overlord trailer. Now, this Overlord was thought to be a Cloverfield movie. You have Cloverfield first film, and then you have 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then the Cloverfield Paradox, which went straight to Netflix. Now, Cloverfield Paradox, a lot of people hate it. It's like, yo, this movie was garbage. But, maybe because it was a Netflix movie and I didn't have to pay it. Well, I had to pay it because it's Netflix, but I didn't have to go to the theater and spend an investment to watch it. I probably would have been disappointed because it would have been like, okay, it was fine, whatever. But because I was watching it on Netflix, I actually enjoyed it. But then a lot of people were talking about, rumors were that Overlord, which is set in the World War II period, was going to be the fourth Cloverfield movie. And then what even led to that was the fact that in Cloverfield Paradox, like the spoiler for that movie, if you had any intention of watching it, they revealed what exactly is going on. That movie is like the secret to what happens in the first one and the second film. Basically, they were trying to it was like some experiment on a spaceship, and it basically tore a fabric in space and time and in dimensions, that all these aliens and other creatures came out and pretty much started to take over. So now Overlord, because it's set in a time period where under how it would link, but in Cloverfield Paradox, they talked about not only did they tear a fabric in space and time, like all times are being affected, not just the past, not just the present, but like past and alternate timelines, and whole is just basically going haywire. So we thought, oh, that's how Overlord plays into this, is that in Overlord, because it takes place in World War II, that it too is getting infected by what's going on in the future. But then J.J. Abrams came out and said, well, Overlord is not a part of the Cloverfield series, and actually a proper Cloverfield film is coming out, and it's coming out in theaters, not on Netflix. That one was just a one-off thing because they had to recoup their costs, blah blah blah. It was a whole bunch of nonsense. But the fourth Cloverfield film is coming, and it's not Overlord. So then when I watch the trailer for Overlord, I can actually see why it's not a Cloverfield movie, because like the tone of it is like I don't know if there's zombies or demons or whatever, even though like this, like Cloverfield Paradox said, it was gonna deal with that aspect of it, not just aliens, but like supernatural things are happening. But like if you watch the Overlord trailer, it just doesn't fit, you know what I mean? So I could see why it wouldn't be a Cloverfield movie. As a matter of fact, I actually wish A Quiet Place was a Cloverfield movie, and I think they said it started out as a Cloverfield film, and that would actually play better into a Cloverfield film than the other films, than Overlord. And so Overlord, it's I definitely see why it's not a Cloverfield film. As far as if I'm excited to see it, well, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's World War II, it's like zombies. It felt kind of like a B movie. But let's see how it turns out. Maybe it's good. But yeah. So listen, that'll do it for this episode. I promise I'll get to do more episodes. I used to do them daily, and then I stopped. But now I'm getting back on my grind. So so like this video, comment below, hit that subscribe and that little bell notification so you can get updated on new video drops. You know, like I said, drop a comment down below, and hit up PopCultureGalaxy.com. I'm doing some crazy stuff over there, so stay tuned. I'm doing some interesting things. And of course, I stream daily. You can check the schedule on my Twitch channel. Twitch.com/PopCultureGalaxy. So you check out that and you check the schedule to see when I stream, and follow me on there, because like I said, you'll get notified when I'm streaming, and you subscribe here, get notified when I drop new videos. So until next time, folks, peace.